From Soldier Field, I'm Kevin Fishbain. He's Arthur Arkush reporting from the Bears' 31-23 season-opening loss to the Green Bay Packers. And Arthur, it was a game that some people said was a bit predictable, but I still think it was an interesting game. I think there's a lot of positives from the Bears on the offensive side of the ball. Most importantly, Matt Forte. Really an incredible game from him. I don't think that surprised anybody, but just to see the Bears execute their game plan had to be a big bright spot against a good Tom Capers defense.
Yeah, no question. I think the first half kind of reminded us of last year here at Soldier Field, the Bears' commitment to the run, and the offensive line was very good. Even an offensive line in flux, I thought, created a lot of space for Matt Forte. Had over 160 total yards and was pretty much awesome. He had the big gains, he had the in-between the tackle stuff, everything except for a couple uncharacteristic drops down by the goal line.
And by the goal line is where the Bears offense had its biggest struggles. You know, they had for a second and goal from the 2, couldn't punch it in, 3 straight incomplete passes. They had a second goal down at the 8 earlier in the game, a false start pushed them back, they couldn't score. And then the Jay Cutler interception in the fourth quarter was kind of the nail in the coffin. Now, Cutler was only 50% throwing, but on third down, he was very good. I thought he played an overall pretty good game. The offensive line was shaky early, seemed to come together late. But as you talked about with Forte, I think you can take some positives from this on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I thought so too. I think the pass protection will need to improve, but Cutler, for the most part, looked like the guy we saw in the preseason. I thought he was making pretty smart decisions until his back was really against the wall late, obviously. And I don't think he saw Clay Matthews when he really needed to make a play in the fourth quarter. But yeah, there were some positives to take away. Alshon seemed to look okay, and I thought there were some weapons there. But the red zone offense, I think, is a concern. It's something we saw in the preseason a little bit. It's interesting because it seems like they have the guys down there to be able to punch it in, but they haven't been able to do it. And obviously, against an offense like the Packers, you can't exchange 3 for them going down and getting touchdowns.
I'd say red zone offense and downfield passing game. You know, the one long play to Marquise Wilson, a bit of a broken coverage there by the Packers or missed tackle led to the long play, but really couldn't work anything downfield. We'll wrap up with the defensive side of the ball. When you're playing Aaron Rodgers, you can expect him to do what he does. But he only threw for 189 yards, but he only threw 5 incomplete passes. Eddie Lacy did not have that big of a game, but the key was third down. The Bears could not get off the field when they needed to, and they could not get the pressure on Aaron Rodgers when they needed to.
And I think it was one drive in the third quarter that you're going to look back on. It took almost 10 minutes off the clock. There were several third down and a fourth down conversion. They were going to Randall Cobb on third down, and just no pressure. I mean, the Bears defense, I thought, held up pretty well for its first showing in the 3-4-D, but no hits, no takeaways. It's not going to be good enough against the Packers, obviously, and clearly it wasn't today.
So, again, bright spots from the debut of John Fox, Vic Fangio, and Adam Gase, but it's still a loss and still a lot of things for the Bears to work on before they take on the Cardinals here at Soldier Field next Sunday. For Arthur, I'm Kevin. For all the best news and analysis about this first game for the Chicago Bears, stick right here at ChicagoFootball.com.